So, Marina, what more can you tell us?
Well, basically, we know that investors will be closely monitoring the elections on the weekend, and some expect that we will see a rally on the Russian markets. But to discuss this further, we're now joined by Hok Sanshайн, who's the Managing Director of Portfolio Investments at IFC Metropole. Mr. Sanshайн, thank you very much for joining us. Now, can you tell us, is your prediction as optimistic as your name? Do you think we'll see a post-election rally? And if so, how high could the numbers get?
Well, I think the rally could be quite significant next week, but it really depends on the global background. We've seen quite a significant rally in the Russian market over the last week or two. The amount of protests against the elections or against the incumbents in the elections have been minimal. And to be honest with you, unless there's some kind of perceived egregious violations, we'll see relative small protests after the elections. I'm sure there'll be some, but I don't think it'll have any kind of significant effect. I think that there's a good group of foreign investors, not those in Russia, perhaps not those in Europe, but maybe in other places that are less close to Russia, who perceive there as being a significant risk of significant unhappiness after these elections. I really doubt that that will happen unless there's some kind of real violations at the ballot box.
But also we're seeing that Russia is showing signs of growth despite all the problems we've seen in the Eurozone. So do you think it's safe to say that Russia is a good investment at the moment, given the fact of what's happening around the world?
Well, you know, we'd all like to think we're very beautiful and have a lot of money, but the fact about Russia is that oil price has been going up, and Russia is oil, whether we like to admit it or not. So with oil at a very high level, that kind of reinforced the government's flexibility to spend money and reinforces the economic stability of Russia. So I think it would be a mistake to say that this rally we've seen over the last couple of weeks is because of increasing confidence about elections. That could be part of it, but a significant increase in the oil price has also played a very material role.
Well, do you think that these significant high oil prices will end up leading to high inflation?
No, not necessarily. I think that we should look at other issues like other commodity prices, like soft commodities, agricultural products. Agricultural products have not had the same rally that oil prices have. Obviously, if we go back to 2007, 2008, we saw oil prices at a very high level. It wasn't because of tension with Iran. It was a debasement of the dollar. Dollar was at a low level. And on a longer-term basis, we could see this commodity supercycle / excess liquidity globally causing a rise in these prices. This will play a significant role in increasing inflation in Russia.
Now, what do you think what's your prediction? What kind of oil prices will we see this year?
Well, now that depends on what happens with Iran. If tomorrow there's an announcement made that Iran is going to allow inspectors to look at some of the other sites in Iran, we'll see the oil price drop $2. If the IAEA comes out and says that Iran is in compliance with monitoring regulations, we'll see oil price drop $5 or $10. So, you know, if we see Israel unsuccessfully try to intervene in Iran with a military strike, we'll see oil up as, $20 or more. So it's kind of dependent on how the world situation plays out, and I don't even think the actors themselves have made a final decision about what's going to happen.
Now, you mentioned government spending earlier, and the government is planning to increase that, and some analysts say that this will dampen Russia's economy. In fact, the official target is 4.2%, while S&P says that the growth will be 3.5%. What's your opinion?
Well, I think that partially this does depend on the oil price. I think that the inflation rate could certainly be higher. Also, agricultural commodities or food products are about 1/3 of the CPI basket. So this could have if we saw a huge spike in agricultural prices, this could play a significant role in raising the CPI. I think that if oil stays at today's levels and the agro basket stays stable, then I think that their inflation targets are definitely feasible. But we could see, in a different scenario with high agricultural prices, with high oil prices, we could see the inflation basket go up to more than 6%.
All right. Thank you very much. Hok Sanshайн there, the Managing Director of Investment Portfolio at IFC Metropole. Thank you so much for your outlook.
Thank you.
And that's all we have in this edition.